let's look at the reading aspect of the Nook color. Regardless what you thought about it as a possible tablet, if you need a reader, this is a great app. First of all, there's discovering the book titles that they have. Now, when you log in, you're going to see that they have suggestions for you based on what you've read. They're going to have suggestions on what's most popular and authors that you might like, again, based on what you read. Let's say I go through the top 10 and I say, all right, you know what? I want to see what this book is about. I can get an overview, reviews, editorials, similar books. And if I don't want to purchase it right away, I can get what's called like a free sample. This is going to give you the first 25 to 30 pages. So you can get a good idea of what you like about that book. And if you end up liking the book, there's going to be like a little place right here at the top that says buy now, as you can see. But I don't want that, so I'm going to go back. X out of there. And you can browse by a lot of things. Now, with the same preview, you can get for magazines or newspapers. So if I find a magazine that I like, let's say I want to read about business, I can also get a 2-week preview of that. And if not, I can subscribe and it'll automatically download for me with each new issue. For instance, right now I'm doing a trial of USA Today and New York Times. So every day that I log in, there's going to be a new edition of USA Today. I click that down there and it opens up for me. Now on the home page, it's rather dull. It doesn't really take advantage of graphics or anything like that. But if you're just in it for the articles themselves, you can do that here. And you can get an information about what you're reading. You can also skip forward or go to the different sections by tapping on the screen and clicking content. You'll get all the breakdowns of what's available in that section, and you can also make notes and bookmarks and things like that. Sports, and I say, all right, I want to read about this. Okay, that's nice. Now let's look at the books. Once you go to your library, you can see your magazines and your newspapers like that. I have 19 different newspaper episodes here. I've got lots of magazines, but I'm going to look at books. You have shelves of everything that you've read. Let's say you open up a book and you want to start reading. It usually opens up to the last page that you had open when you were reading it. So that's very good. And if you want to go forward, you just tap on the bottom and you can scroll right here. Just drag this little line and it'll go different chapters, different pages. And you can tap and go to content. And you can go different places as well. But the cool thing about that is you'll notice that it says notes and highlights and bookmark. Basically, this will, if you see something that interests you, you can make a note of it in the margins. Let's say that I'm reading this and I say, all right, I'm going to long press here and it'll ask me, do you want to highlight this? And I'm going to drag this for this whole section here, and then I'm going to make a highlight. So the next time I come to this page, I can see a highlight just like I was reading an actual book. I'm going to drag down here. I'm going to make a note, add into the margins, type it, say, hey Andronica. Alright, post it just like that. And when I go back to the place I was before, which had my notes and highlights, you'll see that every note that I've made, every highlight that I've made, it's just like having a real book. If you want to make a little note for yourself in the margins, this is how you do it. There's also bookmarks. So if I like a particular page, I just tap on here, and as you see, I can have that little bookmark right there, and it adds a bookmark for this page. So there are some things of the classic reading experience that are conveyed in here in the Nook color, and it's very good. The camera that I'm using picks up some weird little fluttering that you're probably noticing, but as far as your eyes will be able to read this screen for extended periods of time. Over the Thanksgiving holiday, I was on the back porch and I was reading for maybe 3 or 4 hours uninterrupted. My eyes didn't hurt at all. It uses a vivid view screen that has about 16 million colors, so you do have access to charts, to your eyes don't hurt over a long period of time, like I said. And you can read newspapers, magazines, etc. Let's take a look at a magazine. Here's Fast Company. Now, I mentioned before, I'm kind of disappointed in the way the magazines work because they're very simple. It's just basically like PDFs. There's this thing called Article View that allows you to view it as text, but it's kind of not that great. I'll say it that way. For instance, here, okay, you can see the design. When you try to zoom in, it's not that elegant, and you're dragging around. It's mainly the limitations of the size. It's not formatted specifically for this device. You click Article View, and then it gives you like a little column of that particular article, so you can just read the text and the picture on top. Like I said, it's not the greatest solution in the world. When you try to rotate into landscape, it took a little bit of weight, and it's even less appealing when you're in the landscape. But let's say I'm reading this right here. I tap and I can scroll forward through here. That's pretty cool. I'll give them credit for that. And I'm going to read this page and tap Article View once again. And then I can read that way. Very simple, very to the point. So there you have the Nook Color basics of reading. As a reading device, I think this is very good. I have trouble finding anything particularly wrong with it. It's pretty good. Last thing I'm going to show you, okay, is the color section. Okay, when you tap on a specific area of the book, you'll see this little play icon, and you press play.
Richard's scared. Red. Greenbug's tomato car is red. Loli's apple car is red. So is his sneaker. Fire engines are red. Good for you.
Okay, so you see that's pretty simple. It's designed specifically for kids. So in addition to seeing the letters, they can hear the words. Depending on age, depending on the book, you'll have to determine whether or not it's appropriate to have read to me, or if you just want to have them read to themselves. But it can be a really cool way for them to do it. I read it with my nephew, who's about 4 years old.
Blue is the color of blueberries.
Let me pause this.
Blue is the blue.
Yeah, and my nephew was about 4 years old. He was fascinated by it. It's really cool to have. So if you have kids and you want to read to them in a different way, you know, this is the new age way to read books to them.
Yellow. Yellow is the color of Bananas Gorilla's Banana Mobile.
So there you have it. That's the Nook Color. You know, if you want more details about it, feel free to go to Andronica.com. We've got a long review of it, as well as some previous hands-on impressions and some other just basic opinions of it about how it can be as a tablet. This is Andrew from Andronica.com. Thanks for reading. Thanks for watching.